Hey guys, welcome to our movie recap. Today, we're going to recap the film from the year 2016, titled The Osiris Child. Before we start, remember to like and subscribe for more movie recaps. When the film begins, we're introduced to Lieutenant Kane, a pivotal character in the story. Kane is an employee of a military contract company named Exer and resides in an off-station in the sky known as Flotilla. On the surface, Exer's primary mission appears to be exploring space for habitable worlds. Meanwhile, the world is a barren prison colony, with its main city being Osiris, the place where Kane's daughter, Indy, lives. The story then introduces General Linux, who oversees the Exer complex. She's portrayed as receiving a critical status report concerning the colony, particularly after a breach in the prison. This breach has led to a dire situation where sinister creatures, creations of Exer, meant for hidden operations, have invaded and started attacking the prisoners. The plot thickens as Mandel, a character concerned with saving lives, clashes with General Linux's priorities. Linux fears that intervening to save the prisoners might damage the company's reputation. To handle this crisis, she convenes a meeting, deceitfully informing the attendees, including Kane, about a riot by prisoners who allegedly have access to a lethal virus developed by Exer. She claims that the prisoners are threatening to release this virus in the capital if Exer attempts any rescue operations. This lie paves the way for Protocol 84, which involves the complete destruction of the colony. Linux manipulates the situation, suggesting that the threat of Protocol 84 could lead to a better negotiation with the prisoners. The story takes a personal turn for Kane, who becomes desperate to contact his daughter Indy, but fails. His requests for information about the prison incident are met with responses of classification from his AI assistant. In a moment of compassion, Mandel reveals the truth to Kane. There is no virus. Instead, Exer's secret project involves creating monsters, intended for use in establishing new colonies. These creatures have escaped and are now heading towards the main city. In a shocking revelation, Mandel discloses that in 23 hours, Exer plans to detonate the reactors, wiping out the colony. The film thus sets the stage for an intense and desperate race against time, with high stakes for Kane, his daughter, and the fate of the colony. Determined to save his daughter, Kane makes a bold decision. He daringly steals a ship from the station, showcasing his exceptional piloting skills as he maneuvers through a barrage of gunfire from pursuing officers. His singular focus is to reach Earth and rescue his daughter. In a desperate move to evade the last of the Exer guards, Kane pushes the ship beyond its G-force limits. This reckless action causes him to start losing consciousness. In a critical moment, the ship's emergency system activates, ejecting his seat. Kane, regaining consciousness just in time, unbuckles his seatbelt and deploys the parachute, allowing for a safe landing in the water. However, his relief is short-lived. As Kane stands up, a man emerges and incapacitates him with a weapon. When he regains consciousness, Kane finds himself facing Sai, a former nurse from the prison, who is now pointing a gun at him. Kane attempts to explain the situation by fabricating a story about the prisoners gaining access to the reactors. But Sai, having inside knowledge from his time at the prison, quickly realizes that Kane is not telling the truth. In a bid to persuade Sai to assist him, Kane reveals his urgent need to save his daughter, who's in the capital. He offers Sai access to a safety bunker in exchange for his help in the rescue mission. Sai, contemplating the gravity of the situation, agrees to help Kane. The movie then shifts to a flashback, revealing more about Sai's background. He's shown as a prisoner on the planet, engaging in a conversation with two other inmates, Crete and Vim. They discuss an escape plan based on information provided by another prisoner named Carmel. Vim and Crete eventually agree to the plan. The narrative delves into the intricate escape plan of the prisoners. Central to their strategy is getting placed in solitary confinement, where they hope to find an escape route. Carmel, one of the prisoners, attempts to get sent to solitary, but his plan goes sideways when he's summoned by Warden Mordain instead. In a display of cruelty, Mordain mocks Carmel for his religious beliefs and brutally beats him while officers restrain him. Meanwhile, Psy initiates a brawl in the mess hall. This chaotic scene, surprisingly, is met with indifference by Mordane and the guards, who decide to allow the fight to continue as long as the other inmates remain controlled. This unexpected turn of events is actually a part of their escape plan. Crete, seizing the opportunity, escalates the situation by attacking the man assaulting Psy, triggering a riot. The resulting chaos leads to the guards stepping in and sending the involved prisoners, including Psy, to solitary confinement. Solitary confinement in this prison colony is uniquely harsh, featuring rotating cells with disorienting flashing lights. Psy finds himself in one of these cells, until Mordane removes him and Vim for a specific undisclosed purpose. The movie then returns to the present, where Psy and Kane are together. Psy expresses doubts about reaching the capital in time, but Kane reveals that they can find a vehicle at the contraband outpost located beyond the mountains. Upon reaching the outpost, they enter a bar run by Gip and Bill. Here, Psy introduces Kane as an Exor defector, seeking to reunite with his family, and negotiates transport and weapons for their journey. Another flashback then illuminates more of the prison's sinister operations. Vim awakens in a cage to find a monstrous creature approaching him. This creature attacks Vim, injecting him with a mysterious substance. Psy too finds himself caged, with Mordane nearby, revealing the horrifying truth behind Exor's terraforming project. The project involves mutating prisoners into creatures capable of rapid evolution and adaptation in any environment. This revelation sheds light on the dark and unethical experiments conducted by Exor, setting the stage for further developments in the film's plot. Psy, one of the key characters, is abruptly taken away when the floor beneath him opens, leading him to a different room. There, he encounters Bostock, who has successfully implemented their escape plan. Bostock has managed to acquire clothes and fake IDs for their disguise. However, their preparation is abruptly disrupted by Crete's alarming announcement that he's let the creatures loose. This leads to a frenzied scenario where the prisoners, including Psy, Bostock, and Crete, are forced to flee as monstrous creatures begin a rampage, killing everyone in sight. In a horrific turn of events, one of these creatures, formerly known as Vim, murders Mordane. Bostock and Crete decide to head towards the capital, but Psy declines to accompany them, expressing his desire to go somewhere else instead. This divergence of paths marks a significant moment in the storyline. Transitioning back to the present, Kane and Psy are seen waiting for the weapons they had ordered. Upon the weapons' arrival, delivered by two men, Kane compensates them, and the group promptly departs. As evening falls, Kane informs the others on the bus about the impending danger, the release of monstrous creatures, and a bomb set to detonate very soon. Upon their arrival in Osiris, the city is plunged into chaos, besieged by the monstrous creatures attacking people and causing further mutilations. In a display of teamwork, while Kane and Psy venture out to find Kane's daughter, Indy, Gip and Bill stay behind to guard the bus, fighting off any approaching monsters. Kane and Psy break into Indy's apartment and discover she's safe, having hidden herself in a closet. However, their relief is short-lived, as they encounter a monster blocking their escape route, forcing them to seek an alternative exit. In a parallel and somber sequence, Gip faces a heart-wrenching moment as she watches Bill submit to injuries inflicted by one of the creatures, dying in her arms. The trio, Kane, Psy, and Indy, eventually return to the bus where they find a grieving Gip. Kane gives her directions to a safety bunker and ensures everyone knows the access code. Meanwhile, at the Exor complex, General Linux is on the verge of initiating Protocol 84 when she receives information about a bus heading towards one of their bunkers. In response, she dispatches a ship to pursue them. Alerted by Indy, who spots the ship from the bus window, Kane instructs Gip to avoid taking a certain turn to prevent the ship from discovering their destination. In the climactic scene, tension escalates as the characters make their final push towards safety. After evading their pursuers for a while, the ship following Kane, Gip, Sci, and Indy momentarily retreats. Seizing this opportunity, Gip steers the bus towards the bunker. However, their relief is short-lived as the ship reappears, launching a barrage of gunfire at them. In this intense confrontation, both Gip and Kane are tragically killed, leaving Sci and Indy as the sole survivors. Indy, in a state of shock and unwilling to leave her father's side, is gently but urgently ushered by Sci off the bus. Their goal is to reach the safety of the bunker. During their desperate run through the caves, a monster attacks them. In a harrowing moment, Sci manages to eliminate the threat, but not before the creature infects him with its tongue. Upon reaching the bunker, Indy quickly inputs the access codes, and they both make it inside just as the planet is bombarded from above. Inside the bunker, Sci's condition worsens as he begins to transform into one of the monstrous creatures. Realizing the gravity of his situation, he asks Indy for something sharp, intending to end his life before the transformation completes. However, Indy, facing the prospect of being alone, persuades him to stay with her, comforting him as his body undergoes the terrifying mutilations. Fast forward to several days after the explosion. The scene shifts to two explorers discovering the bunker. They notice Indy, now in a spacesuit, at a distance. Suddenly, they're attacked by the mutated Sci, who, despite his monstrous form, retains some sense of his human side, likely influenced by his connection with Indy. After Sci kills one of the explorers, Indy uses this opportunity to interrogate the other about the current state of affairs. The explorer reveals that Flotilla is returning to Earth, having been recalled after the disaster. She explains that the official story being circulated is that prisoners caused a meltdown by taking control of the reactors, and there were no survivors. Indy, seizing control of the situation, demands that the explorer take her and the mutated Sci to the flotilla undetected, offering her survival in exchange for her cooperation. The movie concludes with Indy, Sci, and the explorer boarding the ship, leaving a sense of anticipation about their next fate as the credits roll. This ending leaves us wanting more, giving us a compelling mix of closure and open-endedness, inviting us to wonder more about the characters' futures. What do you think happened when they got to Flotilla? Do you think Sci went crazy and just killed everybody? Or do you think that they tamed Sci and used him for more experiments? Or maybe something different? Let me know in the comment section below. And of course, remember to subscribe and give us a like on this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next movie recap.